We on.
Shalom Israel, giving all praise to Yahweh,
Bashim,
Yahushua,
Yahushua,
Bashim, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Salutations to you, Akim, out there pushing his word, risking your freedom and your life to do so. Okay, more so now than ever before in history, because to push this word very soon is going to be considered an act of terrorism, which it is now, but on a grander scale, on a broader scale. So we're going to get Sirach.
This is Sirach 5, verse 15. It says, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small.
So as prophets or men of the Lord, we're advised to not be ignorant of anything, meaning to lack knowledge of anything, whether it be a small matter or a great matter. Now, there was a situation that took place sometime this week, the Brooklyn shooting. And the reason, the subway that happened in Brooklyn on the train. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is relevant on Esau's defamation towards the prophets, because they consider what he was doing hateful. So
he was set up though. Yeah. That dude was set up. He was a patsy set up to do what he did to bring forth their agenda, which is to clamp down on social media, because they say he had a page and they deemed him the prophets of doom. And when you go with too much deeper, what we do, we promote the demise of Esau and the rise of Israel online. So that was just another ploy to clamp down on, to have the CEOs of social media, YouTube, to clamp down even further on social media. You know what I mean?
Yep. Right. So we're going to read a little bit of this article. It said, this is from RollingStones.com. They made me more dangerous than anyone could ever effing imagine. So it says the suspect on Tuesday's shooting of New York City subway is a prolific user of social media, regularly uploading lengthy, often racist diatribes to both YouTube and Facebook, in which he addresses a range of topics from the state of race relations in the United States to the policies of New York City Mayor Eric Adams, according to the videos reviewed by Rolling Stone. So here it is. Esau is formulating this plan. He's setting it up to where, the guy that did the Brooklyn shooting has a connection. He's usually racist, and he's uploading videos online. This is Esau's whole thing. So link us alongside actual people that commit crimes. Now let the record show. We men at GMS, we don't condone what happened. We don't provoke violence. We're not taking up arms. We're not shooting guns. We're not affiliated with taking up any arms against the government. Let that be known right now. But what we are doing is, give me Jeremiah 28.
Jeremiah 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old.
So Jeremiah was saying the prophets that have been before me and before me of old, and like we're prophets today. The only duty of a prophet means to say something before it happens. That's our whole duty. So Jeremiah, read that again.
Jeremiah 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
That's what we're doing. We're prophesying against many countries, go ahead.
And against great kingdoms of war.
Of war. So you might consider what we're saying a terrorist threat. But what we're doing is what Jeremiah was doing. And the prophets that was before Jeremiah was doing, which is prophesying the downfall of America. And how it's going to go out in the form of war. Read on.
And of evil.
And of evil, that's what we're saying, go ahead.
And of pestilence.
And of pestilence, diseases. That's all we're saying. We're not saying that we're gonna go off military train. We're not buying no damn grenades. We're not training at no gun range, okay? For you militant ISUPK. We're not militant up there. Our duty is Jeremiah 28 and 8 is to prophesy the downfall of America, and America's gonna go out and war. But this is Esau's tactic to eventually demonize us and bring us a bad name. You see? So,
I got 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us for we are not ignorant of his devices.
So at least Satan should get an advantage of us because we're not ignorant of his devices. Now Satan means adversary. And who is Satan to us? Esau. You know, he sets up his social media platforms to defame and slander Israel. So lest he gets an advantage of us, we're not ignorant of his devices. That's one of his devices. Oh, as soon as the shooting took place, in my mind, I said, they're going to say it's a black man. And then once they catch him, he going to make national news. Watch. And as soon as it came out, no surprise. Everybody got the notification on their phone to look out for a 62-year-old black man by the name of
Frank James.
Frank James.
What type of name is that?
But you gotta look at it.
Yeah, like.
You gotta look at it, you know what I'm saying? When you look at the video, because one of these cats on my job sent me the video when it first happened, and I noticed some woman with a red jacket on. She's bending down and she's like, and I see some blood leaking from my hand, but it was not, she was shot. She was appearing out that she was shot, but what she was doing was spraying that fake blood on the floor. Look at the video and slow it down. And if you're trying to get away, why would you run out of the train and then go back into the train? Why would you do that? You're trying to flee a gunman, shooting off a gun, and nobody died, man. Nobody died. That was a psyop, man. To pump that fear and to push the further lock down the internet, man. Because this world is getting out too much that Esau is losing sleep. So the only thing they can do is demonize and make sure they clamp down. They can pass laws. So you see, this guy had a social media on YouTube and on Facebook. So now they're going to clamp down on what you can say on social media. And, yeah, you know,
That's another
of
thing.
course, also, and take away guns, man.
Well, it was wrong. Can you be circumspect? If you can find that? Because, not to cut you off, Judah, but we knew, because right now we're located in New York, where this event took place. And the subway train system, they had for many years, they had, yeah, okay, Fusion 5.
Ephesians 5 and 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
So see then that you work circumspectly. Circle means, circumspect means to see. So it means to look around, man. Our eyes as prophets have to be hawks on the news. Anything that takes place, we're watching. So walk as circumspectly. It said, read that again.
Not, it says, Ephesians 5 and 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Yeah, as wise, man. So we decipher everything. We break down everything as it takes place. That way we don't get caught out there. You see, because that's the job of a prophet, to use wisdom and dissect everything that's taking place. Oh, you got something?
1 Peter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
Yeah, it's heavy because it said be sober, vigilant. Meaning, when you're not sober, you're in a place where you lack judgment or things slip. You see, you ever drink wine or you drink hard drink? There's certain things that might have been done that went right under your nose because you're not sober. You see, so as prophets, we have to see everything and decipher through it. In all these events, we know that Esau is eventually trying to shut down the internet. He's trying to deem all so-called anti-race comments as a hate crime. And pretty much terminate a check. Completely get rid of the word. So I had a
definition real quick. The Webster's. It's the Webster's dictionary, circumspect, literally looking on all sides, looking around, hence cautious, prudent, watchful on all sides, examining carefully all the circumstances that may affect a determination or a measure to be adopted. Yeah, so pretty much a fool takes shit for face value, all right? If you're circumspect about things, you're gonna give it a second look. Does that make sense? And that's what we're doing. It's different events. As different events take place in America, all right, we're looking at it from a third eye, all right? We really examining, like, that look like bullshit. Entering, who the hell take that? You know what I'm saying? That's how we looking at shit like that, man. As well as these fools out here, they believe any damn thing, man. They're so foolish they wear 3-4 masks, you know, believe whatever. They're foolish, they're not prudent, man.
I got a precept for you. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
So what does a watchman do? Back in ancient time, they would have walls or battlements that guarded the city. And they set up watchmen. Now watchmen with their design, their specific duty of a job was to watch. For incoming armies, anything, they watched. They was there to keep an eye on things. So the Lord has set up us as watchmen over the house of Israel. You see? So we're what? Right?
It says, therefore hear the words at my mouth and give them warning from me.
Right, so as watchmen, we have to give them warning. Now what happens if the king of the city don't take heed to the watchman? You get invaded because you wasn't on your job. Or if the watchman is slack on watching and telling the people what's going on, you get caught unaware, you see? So we are set up as watchmen to declare what's about to take place. Now I have, this is from Operation Enlightened Unity, and it's Rex 84. Now, yeah, brothers brought it up many times about Rex 84. Now I'm just gonna give a rundown what it is. Rex 84, short for Readiness Exercise 1984, was a secretive scenario and drill developed by the United States federal government to suspend the United States Constitution. Okay, meaning you don't have no longer the free right to free speech, no longer have the right to bear arms, which is the Second Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, which is the right to plead the Fifth. You see, the Constitution be completely done away with. This is signed into law. It's called Rex 84, and it says. So the United States federal government to suspend the United States Constitution, declare martial law, place military commanders in charge of state or local governments, and detain large numbers of American citizens who are deemed to be national security threats. In the event that the president declares a state of domestic national emergency. So what took place in Brooklyn is a domestic crime, meaning it happened domestically, locally.
Home, yeah.
You see? So an event like that, they consider him a domestic terrorist. So technically the president could say, look, these events are happening too much. We're implementing Rex 84 plan. And anybody could see it's gonna go into it. It says, anybody consider a national security threat could be locked up. Constitution suspended. That's the message we're getting across. And Esau's using that. Yes,
Well, now I got a precept. This is Ezekiel chapter 32, verse 2. It says, Son of man, speak to the sons of Israel, of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if he seeth the sword come upon the land, he bloweth the trumpet and warn the people.
we blow the trumpet.
And that's what we do. The trumpet is these scriptures, man. The trumpet is this truth. We telling you what's coming down the pipe. What Esau got planned, man. With all these different draconian laws he's passing. We telling you, man. The true agenda of the elite crackers that's running society. They want to bring forth a new world order where they want to MOT to the beat everybody, man. You know, and that's how it's going down, man. We telling you these things, man. They want total control, but we warning you. Week in and week out, throughout the week, we put up videos. We warn y'all, you know. So that's the watchman. We are the watchman that has been set up. The Lord set us up as being watchmen to the house of Israel, man. And not only to be watchmen to the house of Israel, but also tell these different nations that they're going into slavery. To also tell these different nations that their judgment that's coming upon them, and as well as the 2/3 that do not take heed to the words that we are speaking.
Yeah, a lot of people are under the impression we're gonna do this forever. We're not about to be out here for very much longer, man. Eventually, this word is gonna be so hectic and heat towards us, we can no longer push it. And that's when the doors of mercy is going to close. When Esau come down and say, these guys are national terrorists, we can't be out here no more, man. And the word is not going to be able to go forward. So, yeah, so if you better get this word now, man.
So it's back in Ezekiel chapter 32, verse 4. That whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and take not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be on his own head.
Right.
Verse 5. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. Verse 6. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood would I require at the watchman's hand.
Right, because when watchmen was set up, the people didn't see the trouble. That was the watchman's job. You were relying on the watchman to make sure the city was safe. So if the watchman is not doing his job, or he's whatever he's doing, he's lollygagging, what happened? The city gets overrun. So the Lord has spiritually set us up to say, yo, Israel, repent, come back to the Lord, serve him, because you're gonna die in your sins.
Yeah, you have like these cars that have like pre-collision in them, where they sort of like warn you before something happens.
Right.
And that was a malfunction. The company's not held liable because the warning system can go off. But if that warning system can go off, well, look at that son, you in that accident. You know what I'm saying? They covered their ass. So that's what we want to be doing. CYA is out like trying to say, cover your ass. That's what we're trying to do.
Motion sees it, not your eye.
Yeah, so pretty much when the Lord start mowing shit down, you know what I'm saying? They go ash to ash, dust to dust.
I told you.
Saying, word, you know, we warned you.
It's a little more. This is back in Ezekiel chapter 32, verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have sent thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the words, therefore thou shalt hear the words at my mouth.
Real quick, son of man, not you goddamn woman out there, man. Alright, y'all not watchmen. The daughters of shut the fuck up with that shit, man. This thing is for the men.
Zion.
Alright? You can't be no watches, man. Why my feet hurt? Can I wear heels? They mind texting and shit. Nah, man, like an attentive watchman sort of behavior belongs to those of the men, man.
I tell you, the both sides set up. It says the sheep of my pasture were men. Because first and foremost, women, they get their flowers. That makes them unclean. So how you gonna be out there unclean with your flower, teaching the word of the Most High? That's impossible, man. Emphatically impossible. You're not watchman. You need to shut your mouth, shut your power hole, and let's listen.
And you know when they're gonna realize that, bro? When all hell breaks loose. All this whole I'm a boss babe and me and my nigga is equal, all that shit's gonna get flung right out the fucking window when all hell breaks loose.
And you're not equal to your man. Before you hold on real quick, what the word woman mean? The average woman do not know what the word woman mean. I pose this question. What does the word woman mean? A lot of you women cannot even interpret what the word woman mean, man. So how the hell you gonna be a woman, man? You not no boss woman, a boss servant. That word woman means servant, man. A serf. A female servant. So how can you be a boss woman? So that means you're a boss servant? Come on. You the boss. You're right, you're a boss servant, the boss over the younger women that's being bred up to be servants to serve their men. That's what you are.
You're the boss's servant.
You the bosses, it's right. So a little more, it says Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked.
That wicked right there is talking about Israel. Right? That's right. Because what the scriptures say, let favor be shown to the righteous, let favor be shown to the wicked. Exactly. So that wicked is not talking about the nations and the so-called white man, it's talking about our people, the wicked of our people.
That's right. We ought to warn y'all. We wanted the people to come back to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, but we condemning Esau and the rest of the nation in the 2/3, man. Because we had to gather the elect, the hopeful elect, the elect of the sons of Israel, those that's calling into this day, and we also be out here condemning the 2/3 of the rest of the nations, man. That's our job. So it says, back in Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 8, when I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way. That wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
Like, hey, the scriptures say you have many that's going to say, Lord, the Lord, Yahweh Shai. That's those guys. All right? Got it? Hit it in the napkin, decided not to teach, not warning. All right? You have blood in your hands, man.
That's right.
And if you come across this video, then fuck you. Why? Because you turned your back on the Lord, man.
Sure.
Right, bro.
But the apostle put up a video of some one West dude that turned his back. And he explained why he turned his back on the plow. Because he got caught up. That was a stumbling block unto you, nigga. You know? Because he talked about how the year 2000, when they said that, you know, that the war was going to end, that messed a whole lot of people up. The apostle Gabar put the video. He said that messed a whole lot of people up. So a lot of people, you know what? These guys are false prophets. That was a stumbling block unto you, nigga. Because hey, a man's going to desire to see the coming of the day of the Lord. Roughly paraphrased, that we not going to be able to see because hey, the Lord don't think how we think, man.
Well, that's a part of being a watchman. Oh, well, I thought the army was coming. It ain't coming, so whatever. You just leave your post. Like, watch. So what happens if the city get overrun while you left your post?
Right.
While you were supposed to be on job watching.
Yeah, man, look, the scripture says endure to the end, man. Not endure till I feel like it. Endure till the end, bro.
And then brothers brought out Jonas. During the time of Jonas, during the time of the Syrian Empire, Jonas was pissed off that when he was out there prophesying about Nineveh falling, it didn't fall because they repented. But then the time of Tobit, you know, I tell you in the book of the Apocrypha, then the book of Tobit, that when Tobit was old, he told Tobias, hey man, leave this country because it was prophesied that Nineveh was going to be destroyed. Guess what happened? Then the time of Tobias, Nineveh got destroyed. So Jonas, just because it was destroyed, Nineveh was destroyed, and when Jonah was speaking about it, doesn't mean Jonah was a false prophet. He still got destroyed. Because that was a time for it to be appointed for Nineveh to be destroyed, because at that time they were repenting of their wickedness. So the Most High had mercy on them. But it came a time where they went back to their wicked ways and the Most High destroyed them. Who took them down? The Babylonians and the Medes, man. They got together and they destroyed them. You know? So, hey, man, now, Noah. They also brought out Noah. He was out there prophesied for what, 100 years? Over 100 plus years? 120 years. But guess what? How long did it take them to build that massive boat to hold them animals, man? The ark. It took them a long period of time. That wasn't done in 6 months or in 3 months. That was done at a long period of time because it was only Noah and his sons and their wives helping them. Their wives was bringing them food, but it was basically Noah and his sons, man. And they hired service, those who was with them, if they had any hired service with them. They don't speak about hired service, it's about Noah and his sons helping them build the ark. So guess what? It took them a long time to build that ark, man. That's why Noah was out there for that long period of time. If you could see that, if you could perceive that, over 120 years prophesied, man, that it was going to rain. And everybody was laughing at he was building that boat, that ark, man. Now we're building a spiritual ark. It's the same thing, man, as in the days of Noah.
Habakkuk 2. Let's get scriptures. It's Habakkuk 2 and 1.
Yeah, I'm
Habakkuk 2 and 1. I will stand upon my watch.
There you go. So we compare precept upon precept. Stand upon the watch. Go ahead.
And set me upon the tower.
Set you upon the tower. Go ahead.
And will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
That's right.
And the Lord said, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables.
There you go. Write the vision, make it plain upon tables. So the scriptures is written down and make it plain. Go ahead.
Well, the modern day version of writing down on tables is this video.
Right.
This is the modern day Christian we've done. All right, so when we put together our videos, hey man, that's a form of warning. Now, if you're slacking in your videos, you're slacking in your warning, man.
That's right.
It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. That also cuts being super deep. It's thing's supposed to be plain, man. Like, it shouldn't be that hard for somebody to know that what their nationality is. All right, what's coming to America. We don't have to go on a goddamn. What's that fucking dude going to molecules and ports and shit like that? What the fuck you doing that for? Scripture said make it plain, bro. It said in quantum physics and shit. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, the vision of the prophecies, man. All right? Break down these prophecies plainly to the people that they can receive it. That he may run that readeth it.
He made one that readeth it. That you may run and get this truth like a race, and you won that race to the kingdom, to salvation.
Well,
You be urgent.
well, you have two people. You have people that's going to run with it. You have people that's going to run away from it. Because we prophesying this onto the elect, but we also prophesying onto the nations. Each one of the nations see what's in store for them in this book. They're taking the fuck off. But we, the one of the elect, we're going to run with this thing, man.
I got a priest to back you up, brother. This is This is Isaiah chapter 62, verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh will keep not silence.
Day or night. And there's a scripture in the book of Psalms, and it's the internet scriptures.
Yeah.
The internet is how we're able to do this thing day and night. Because you have right now, when we're asleep, you know, you have brothers across the world. They just uploading videos. This thing is, if you subscribe to GMS and go to YouTube and hit subscription, you're going to constantly get video after video.
You'll be edified, well edified.
Yeah, any point in the day, any throughout the world, man. Anywhere out the world. Now, that goes all back to how about shit here on shop, because he's really the one that's putting the battery in our back.
That's right. It says, and keep not silence, verse 7, and give him no rest till he establish and till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
Keep not silence. Well, that's how come you always have a very familiar quote amongst us is what, do a video on it. Right? Because we're not silent, we're not trying to keep silent about what the hell is going on. You know?
That's why videos is constantly going up. We're not keeping silence. Every video, you can go to different, like the priest said, you can go to different other, you know, GMS Australia, GMS Virgin Islands. You know, you can go throughout the four corners where there's GMS Great Millstone videos, and you're gonna see that we're not keeping silent, man. We not giving this devil no rest, man. And it's grieving this devil that we are putting these videos up. Why you think this devil is constantly taking down our videos, man? You know, you gotta watch what you say. We gotta use codes on how to speak now, because these devils is constantly taking our videos down, man.
Well, yeah, after that Brooklyn event, now they deeming everything that's uploaded on YouTube, they like going down the foul of hate speech now, because they said that caused him to act that way.
Man,
That's what I'm saying. That was the whole agenda of Esau to set up for the events to stop his work.
That's why we know there's going to be a famine in the world. That was the number deployed so they could set another draconian law and have these CEOs of these different social media outlets to clamp down, man. You know, soon we got Odyssey letting all kind of videos go, but soon they're going to do the same thing. They're going to follow the algorithm of Esau, because guess what? Who's running Odyssey? Edomites, you know what I mean? So they're going to eventually fall in line, you know, but for now, they allow all kind of videos, controversial videos to go up, like bad videos. That's another outlet that they may soon clamp down on, man. That's why it's called bad videos, man. And these devils, man, this truth is kicking them in their ass. They losing sleep over this truth, and that's why they doing what they doing, man. That fucking old, 62-year-old man with no beard on his face, looking like a goddamn deranged ignoramus. Come on, you 62 years old. You didn't kill nobody. You just shot people through a gas grenade, with a smoke grenade in the train. Nobody died. You shot all these people. Nobody died. That was a psyop. I doubt if anybody got shot, man.
Those people got hit in the video.
That's what they do. But how we know? They crisis actors, bro.
Anything.
Well, we saw when the Ukraine, they had all them body bags laid out. We had one dude, and the dude was like speaking. Oh, look, there's 50 casualties. What happened? We got one dude moving around in the bag and shit.
Somebody they fucked. That was something else. There was like a demonstration. like people laying dead, but then they put the Ukraine thing over. But you're right, shit like that do happen, like crisis actors and stuff like that. The Mossad, I'm sorry, ISIS. Those guys that wrapped up with all that.
Yeah.
They were they had ISIS agents that worked with France, Israel, and all that. They'll put the turbans on, and you know, pretty much like BLM. You know, they mask up and shit and cause all manners of chaos and civil anarchy and civil disruption. But they really being used as puppeteers or proxies, man. You're speaking about psychological operations, man. A lot of the shit that you see in front of you, don't take it for face value, man. You know, it's like a real life green screen almost. Green screen effect. Put away the green screen, you find out they're in a small studio or something and shit. Hey man, I was watching this thing, and it was like the Discovery Channel. They were zooming on a beetle and shit, and it looked like it was in some forest, and they zoomed out. It was like a little fucking cardboard cow, man.
I was going
Damn.
through a video on magicians. Magicians are not, they don't really do the tricks. They find out they have something called sleight of hand, or, you know, they do tricks to trick your eyesight. That's why we say that he's the devil.
The magician's whole thing is for evil. So focus on this hand, when meanwhile my left hand is really doing the work, and that's sort of what Esau does. Focus on this train shit while I'm over here passing all these different draconian measures. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Back in Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk 2 verse 3. It says that for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Read it again. For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
Yeah, vision is yet for appointed time. For appointed time, go ahead.
Yeah, so what's the, you know what I'm saying? That break it down. The vision is yet for an appointed time. So all these particular prophecies, all right, the MOTB, all right, the missiles, they all set in their season. In other words, we wasn't going to be Lord's in the habit to where you're going to be coming off slave ship. Next thing you know, you have a chip in you, because that's two different prophecies for two different times. Now, the main prophecy that we're going into right now, the MOTB, we're in that time, man. And that's the last prophecy leading up to the World War III, and then our deliverance, man, was we cannot wait for. A lot of bullshit that brothers are going through and all the fucking wickedness you see during the day. It's like, yo, Lord, speak this thing up already, man. You know, but again, it's for its appointed time. It's not on our time. It's when the Lord deals with these things to come to pass.
That's right.
It says, for the vision, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak
And not lying.
and not lie.
Yeah, so a lot of the prophecies prior to the 2000s hadn't happened, but they were so fixed on 2000 being the year of deliverance. But like the brother said, a lot of the prophecy had to line up, and it takes time. You know, brothers is real hasty to get up out of here, but a lot of things have to happen before the Lord can come back. See? So, like you said, you know, the vision is there for a point in time, but in the end, speaking not right now, it's speaking, man. Esau has all the technology. Esau has the stage set. You know, Esau always uses, and it's always in history, propaganda. You know, stage an event, and then people feel less desensitized to whatever happens to the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good. You know, and how you do it, you measure the time diligently yourself. Second Ezra 9 and 1. That's how you know we in that time, man. And these prophets are starting to speak. We see it happening. We see that they're setting the stage with the World Economic Forum, you know, how they setting the stage with that digital currency. They're trying to do it with the old currency. And when you look at that video, they had nothing but rich people with their Saudi princes, they had Edomites, they had all walks of life. They Fortune 500 banks, Fortune 500 companies, all the rich marketing mugs, you want to call them that, was sitting in that fucking economic forum, man. And they was getting together, and they was trying to bring forth a new digital currency, man, to do away with cash, man, making everything digital. So we know we're at the time, man. We're at the time, man. That's how we measure the time, man. Watching these different videos of the World Economic Forum, watching certain things come to pass, man. Watching this war in Ukraine, and we measure the times, and now we know, because the Lord gave us a clue of how to distinguish when we're at the end times, man. So
Not a clue he gave us with
what to look for, which is, which is not a clue. You said, which what to look for. And we see these things come to pass, then we know we're at the end. And now we see these things coming to pass. These prophets are speaking, man. But only the elect is going to get it. You're going to have people saying, it's June! There ain't no microchip. But we see it. It's plain. It's plain as my right hand is in this camera. We see it. That how the microchip, the alpha D microchip, or the MOT to the B, the mark of the beast, is being pushed, man. Amazon pushing it.
That's how you know we was sick. We the only camp that's really talking. We the only camp talking about it. Some other camps don't even believe in it.
Or if they do, they're not teaching it. They may speak on it briefly, but other than that, they're not expounding on it, going deep into it. Because if you got a 501c3 charter, you are regulated by the government. You are tax exempt, so that means you receiving donations from the government, and everything you receive is tax exempt. You don't have to pay no taxes on the money that you are receiving, man. Who set that up? Lyndon Baines Johnson, when he was the senator in the 50s, to regulate, to put a gag order on what you can say in these churches, man. You got a 501c3 charter, man.
Right.
You got a bag. You got a bag, nigga.
Second, pull out Chronicles 36 and 15, right? So this is Second Chronicles 36, verse 15. It says, "And the Most High thy power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up, what is it? Rising up betimes and sending because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place."
That's right. So the Most High, like in the ancient times, and like he's doing today, because people like to say, "Oh, them were the Bible days." No, we're in the Bible days. We've always been in the Bible days. So like the Most High did in the ancient time, send up men, messengers, to warn the people because he had compassion, like he's doing today.
Verse 16. "But they mocked the messengers of the power."
They're not doing nothing different than they did back then. They mock Noah like they do us. You fucking guys, look at them. Like we was at camp last week. Guy recording us. Yo, look at these guys. Look. Mockers. They mock us like they did back in the day. Read that again.
But guess what? He was condemning his own stuff. So he came out condemning himself, you know what I mean?
But it's just showing you that there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
Because this is in Second Chronicles. Call it and read it again.
Second Chronicles 36,
The Old
verse
Testament.
16.
Yeah, Second Chronicles 36 and 16. This happened then and it's happening now. Go ahead.
"But they mocked the messengers of the power."
So if people are not mocking you, you ain't doing something right. Because if the Lord truly sent us, this will be happening to his men, prophets. And we seen that all throughout when we was on 34th, get a job, you bum. Oh, you hate speech. Look at them. Fucking bummer-lights. Yeah, that's the snow dummies. Yeah. Go ahead.
"And despise his
And
words."
despise. Oh, look at these rapists. Look at these germs. I had a guy from IUIC call me a germ. So if we know we're doing something right, because this happened to the ancient men that the Lord sent back then. Go ahead.
and misused his prophets.
Some of us got thrown in jail. You know, some of us lose our jobs for it. You know what I'm saying? All type of atrocities and things happen to his messengers. So it's clearly telling you who the messengers of the Lord are. Oh, go ahead.